we'll bring Danielle DeMarco in, our real estate investment mortgage specialist. She's got a little bit to talk about the recent mortgage changes that have come across. Why don't you just take it away, Danielle?
Perfect. Thanks for the introduction. All right. So lots has been happening in the mortgage world in the last few weeks here to month. Initially, we saw some changes that took effect in August, which was related to first-time home buyers and new construction, and effect in mid-December. So speaking of which, Tim and Azad, how you just mentioned, the spring market not only is going to be affected by interest rates, but it's going to be affected by these changes coming into play mid-December, which is going to carry through into that spring market. So not only will rates be lower, but there'll be these other advantages for home buyers, which is only going to help stimulate the market as well. So as part of the changes, one of the big ones is raising the cap for insured mortgages. So what used to be a $1 million limit, basically, as long as you purchased $999,999 or less, you could put down minimum down payments. But as soon as you hit 1 million, you were automatically required to put down 20% no matter what. They've now adjusted that, and you can go up to 1.5 million using minimum down payments instead of 20%. And in some cases, in Alberta and other provinces, but obviously we'll chat about Alberta, there's sliding scales. So what that means is, depending on the location of the property, as soon as you get over 1 million, you might have even had to have more than 20% down payment, depending on the postal code of the property you wanted to purchase and type of property. So this is going to be big savings. It's 5% on the first 500,000 and 10% on anything above the 500,000. So same as it is now, but all the way up to 1.5 million now. So really, at 1.5 million, assuming 20% down, you used to need 300,000. Effective December 15th, you're only going to need $125,000 down payment. So that's a massive difference. You obviously still have to qualify for the mortgage, so your debt ratios have to be in line, but it's going to give single family homes a bit of a boost, in that $1 to $1.5 million price range. So then another key change is the expansion of the 30-year amortization. So this is going to affect most of or some of our investors, but most people who are investing or first-time home buyers. So not only now, like in August, it was first-time home buyers purchasing a new home, new build, new construction. They were allowed to extend their amortization out to 30 years. Now, as of December 15th, it's going to be a 30-year amortization for all insured mortgages on new builds. So whether you're a first-time buyer or a fifth-time buyer, if you're purchasing a new build, you're going to be able to extend that amortization out to 30 years instead of just taking the standard 25 years. Now, to be clear, first-time home buyer, you can never have purchased a home before. You cannot have owned or co-owned or occupied a primary residence in the last 4 years of somebody else who does own. And you can, if you've experienced a recent matrimonial breakdown or common law relationship in line with the rules around that, then you would also be considered a first-time home buyer. So essentially, this is, they're trying to stimulate new builds, which brings jobs, but also brings new housing starts. So for new builds, the home cannot have been previously occupied. So for example, if it's somebody who took possession of a new build and then wants to turn around and flip it, this wouldn't apply to the buyers. So it has to be new home sale right from the builder, not occupied. So the goal of these changes, the government obviously wants to make home ownership a little bit easier. So by taking a 30-year amortization, effectively your monthly payments are going down with a longer amortization. Then your qualifying is also increasing as well. So the lower your payments, the lower your debt ratios, which means the more you can spend. So 30-year amortization, just to give you an idea, it increases your purchasing power by approximately 10%. So if you could purchase for, 400,000 before, add 10% to that, that's roughly what you could spend now if rates didn't change and everything else remained static and all you did was take the 30-year amortization. So there's definitely benefits to this. So again, to kind of recap on the 30-year amortization, it's first-time buyers and new builds, as well as any-time buyer and new builds. And then on the 1.5 million insured, it's anybody purchasing at that price point. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So it's a little bit confusing, but if you want to reach out and you have any questions, let me know. But really what's going to happen is only going to, expand on that spring market. We're going to see likely more buyers, and we're likely going to see more people waiting until mid-December to purchase as well. So rates, people are waiting for rates, but people are also waiting for some of these changes to take effect. So like Tim and Azad said, if you're looking to get into the market as an investor, price wise, we're probably kind of where you need to be price point wise, and we're probably going to see some increases as a result of rates and changes. And that's it.
Awesome.
Right, thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, thanks for the update. So if anybody's looking to get into real estate investing, your first step is always to reach out to Danielle. She'll work out exactly what you can do. And you know what? We come across all different people in different situations. Some people have to wait till they build up their deposit. Some people have to pay off some debt. Some people can't get a mortgage. We just don't give up at that stage. We actually work out different ways, which we're going to get into different strategies tonight on how to invest without getting a mortgage. But there's multiple ways, but the first step is to talk to Danielle, take down her details, and reach out to her.